Hey there, welcome to the Let's Grow Annual Challenge, day 124 days already. Today we're talking about, remember we talked about beliefs yesterday? Today we're going to talk about limiting beliefs and how to change some of them. What are some of the most common limiting beliefs? How do you go about changing them? What are some strategies that you can use to change them? And why do we even care? Why do we want to pay attention to beliefs and to our limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs are beliefs that we have about ourselves, about the world around us, about other people, about things, about opportunities, about our abilities, etc. And usually they're the things that prevent us from achieving our goals or sabotage our efforts for improvement or learning something new, or they block us from even seeing opportunities that are all around us all the time. If anybody ever tells you that they're stuck in a situation, it's just a limiting belief, because we always have multiple possibilities and multiple opportunities to deal with anything that comes our way. So common types of limiting beliefs have to do with our abilities, what we are capable of, the type of person we are. A lot of times they're tied to our identity. We identify as a klutz, for example. That's my favorite one, because I identify as a klutz for a very, very long time. And guess what happened? When I thought of myself as klutzy, I did klutzy things on a regular basis. But when I decided to let go of that belief about my coordination and my abilities, I instantly became more coordinated and had a lot less accidents and klutzy moments. I still have klutzy moments, by the way, but we all do as humans. So it has to do with our abilities, our beliefs about something or someone or what is possible, and our ability and our thoughts about opportunities, whether they're even out there or not for us. And guess what? They're out there for everyone in the universe. It's just whether we're open to them or not. A lot of limiting beliefs happen on a subconscious level. We're not even aware that we have them. Our beliefs are just our beliefs. If you talk about limiting beliefs, people usually, their eyes glaze over, because they're like, I don't have any limiting beliefs. My beliefs are just my beliefs. They're what I believe in based on years of experience and exposure in different things in different environments. And they're just thoughts that we think a lot, or have been something that we adopted and bought into because we had a strongly emotional experience with it. It can happen in both positive ways, which are empowering beliefs, and negative ways, which are limiting beliefs. So things that we can do to change limiting beliefs are challenge our self-talk, challenge our negative self-talk. I don't know about you, but I still slip into negative self-talk on more occasions than I like to admit. It'll depend on the circumstances, the situation, the environment, who I'm around, what the nature of the events are, whether I will slip into that or not. But I try to catch myself as soon as I notice consciously that I'm doing it, and substitute it by using affirmations, positive reinforcement, positive self-talk, flip switching, which is one of my favorite strategies. I learned it from Lynn Grabhorn of the Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, or Excuse Me, Your Life is Now. That she's Excuse Me, Your Life is Now. Yeah, I don't know when, whatever. And I'm obviously not thinking about that book right now. I can see the yellow cover. But we can use other things. Depending on how deeply seated the belief is, we might have to do other things to help change it. Usually for me, it's just, hypnosis, meditation, thinking about it, self-awareness, positive reinforcement, using affirmations. We're going to talk about affirmations in detail. We'll spend a whole day talking about affirmations and affirmations this month, because it's such a powerful tool. Cognitive behavior techniques we can use. Those are a little more advanced. Fear of failure is one of the most common limiting beliefs. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of I don't know how to say this. Not feeling like we're good enough, not feeling like we're worthy is probably even more common than fear of failure. At least it has been in my experience working with myself and with other people. I don't think there's hardly anybody on the planet that hasn't at some time or other felt they weren't good enough or didn't deserve something. And maybe that's not true, and maybe that's just my perception. But I think a lot of people's behavior stems from lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem, not believing in themselves, which are all limiting beliefs, right? Because we're all awesome. What are some of the things that we can do to combat that? We can celebrate small victories. We all have and be grateful. Gratitude is my favorite way to change anything. If we're grateful for what is and the things that are working in our life, because there's always a combination of things that are going really, really well, things that are meh, things that are so-so, things that are kind of good, things that are kind of bad, and things that are just plain awful. And if we focus on the things that are awful, we create more of those in our life. So I say, let's focus on the things that are going well and be grateful for them. We often have to step outside of our comfort zone in order to challenge and prove to ourselves that we have abilities and are capable of things that are far greater than we had even imagined. We need to surround ourselves with supportive people. Our environment is really, really important in terms of how we look at ourselves, how we see other people, and our beliefs. We want to cultivate resilience. We want to stick to things and be resilient and a problem solver. I'm reading a book about spirited children because I spent a lot of time with my granddaughters, and they are very spirited girls. And one of the things they talk about in there is about cultivating the belief and the practices of being a problem-solving family, focusing on what you can do, focusing on, yes, the things that you can do, not on the things that you can't do. I think as adults, we need to do a lot more of that as well. We need to practice self-compassion and cutting ourselves some slack and not always beating up on ourselves for every single thing we say or do that isn't perfect. We need to find meaning in challenges. I have learned to embrace and love challenges. Yeah, they frustrate me a little bit at the time, but I realize that there's a lesson in that for me, that if I learn it and I look for that lesson, then there's always more growth coming out of a challenge than there is out of anything else. We need to have and develop certain coping strategies. We need to also find ways to get rid of limiting beliefs. And if anyone's interested, just ask. And I will find time this month to talk about and find a video that I did, or a couple of videos I did on YouTube years ago now, about fun and creative ways to get rid of limiting beliefs. And so one day I was at my shop by myself back in my manufacturing days, and I spent the entire day just doing fun, creative ways of getting rid of not good enough, because that was one of the limiting beliefs that I was talking about at the time. All right, that's all I've got today. We've got Petunia's story and guide 2 of the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group page. Any other questions about this? Any other thoughts, concerns? Hey, ask, is this a limiting belief or not? I don't know. Well, if it prevents you from achieving a goal, if it stops you from doing something that you are curious or want to do, if it makes you feel bad in any way, it's a limiting belief for you. All right, that's all I've got today. Ask questions if you've got them. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow for another mental growth topic as we focus on our mental growth, health, and well-being this month. Have an awesome day.